And speaking of Sheriff Daniels, tonight, a year-long investigation into him is nearing conclusion. First Coast News has learned that the Florida Department of Law Enforcement has completed its report and concluded its portion of the probe into Sheriff Daniels. The report must now be reviewed by the 4th District State Attorney's Office. So this investigation, to get you caught up with it if you're not familiar, was sparked in May of last year after Daniels called 911 on his lover of 6 years, whom he accused of stalking and asked his own officers to place under arrest. Sierra Smith was arrested and detained for 6 hours, but not jailed after an assistant state attorney found there was no probable cause to book her. It later emerged that Daniels began his affair with Smith when he was her direct supervisor at the Duval County Jail. Now, Daniels is a first-time sheriff up for re-election and facing 6 challengers.